Alright guys, we are back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, part 2 of the Datamines, and I have been refreshing like a madman waiting for Mr. Gengar to post the usual infographic with all the stats and the artworks and all of that good stuff, but it's just not coming up. So in the meantime, we're just going to do this a different way. We're going to take a look at the actual artworks for the units while I talk about the stats and the boons and banes and etc. We also have info for the inheritance restriction levels of the new skills. That includes tempo as well. We got info for Boyd, who's going to be our freebie unit. We have some other things that I want to talk about as well, so let's just dive right in. Alright, we are going to start off with Baby Ike and Baby Mist, and maybe they're not the most meta-defining unit, but they do still have pretty nice artwork, I guess, and they are very cute, especially Mist with her Moe Blob artwork style there, so I guess that's nice there. Alright, we have also Ike protecting his baby sis, so very cute. Alright, so the duo Ike and Mist combo, their stats are going to be 40 HP, 42 attack, 42 speed, 32 defense, and 26 res. We already knew their stats because they were in the trailer, and they have a BST overall of 182. I'm not sure what their duo skill BST increase is going to be yet, but I'm assuming it's the current max that we have, which is 195. Maybe they want to be real nice and bump that up to 200, but I don't know. We'll have to wait for more information on that, I guess. Either way, they also have super boons in both attack and speed. No surprise there whatsoever. They are a fast infantry unit, so that's exactly what they want. The Ike and Mist combo, they're very divisive in the community about whether or not they're a good unit or not, and I think their duo skill is really what sells them. It sets them apart and it gives them a niche to use in summoner duels. So you can mess with hardy fighter effects and other special ramping effects in there. So not too bad from that. As far as their weapon goes, I think the special spiral effect that Ike gets from the weapon is his most interesting trait, because that's something that nobody else does. And there's a couple of ways you'd be able to take advantage of that, particularly with Radiant Aether, which he comes with, and also you could try Vital Astra, I guess, as well, which is a 2-hit special, and he's just going to charge it right before his first attack. So I believe if you do it that way, you will be able to gain access to the damage reduction part of Vital Astra. So just some options for his specials. I also tossed out the idea of AoE specials with him. Of course, running Special Spiral in the B slot as well to combo. So there's some ways to play him for sure, but at the end of the day, he's just another null follow-up and dodge unit. And he's an infantry sword, so there's just way too many of those. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the Baby Mia up next. Baby Mia is very cute as well. Alright, so these are the artworks for her. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at her stats now. So she's got 40 HP, 41 attack, 43 speed, 32 defense, and 27 res. Honestly, that looks really damn similar to Ascended Marita. So I'm just going to toss that out there. She has a 183 BST overall, and then she has only one super boon, which is in attack. So again, very similar to Ascended Marita, where she's got that 43 base speed, and she doesn't have the super boon in speed, so you're going to want to go plus attack for her. She's a pretty solid unit as well, but just like Ike, she's another dodge null follow-up infantry sword. We have way too many of those. They need to start getting more creative with the sword infantry units, because that's really the only way they're going to become interesting at this point. So hopefully they get on that. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the Baby Soren up next. Baby Soren probably has my favorite artwork on the entire banner. And that's because they made him a street urchin, basically, which is... I mean, I don't want to dive too much into Soren's backstory for those of you that have never played the Tellius games. This guy's backstory is actually one of the more interesting backstories, I would say. And there's also a very hidden secret gem about where he comes from and his actual lineage, which is pretty cool as well. So all that stuff, I don't want to spoil. If Insys wants to spoil it, then be my guest. They spoiled Black Knight being Zelgius, so they're probably going to spoil who Soren is as well. Probably in this very upcoming paralog we're going to get for this, but I'm not going to spoil it myself because I respect the Tellius games. Alright, so Soren stats, we got 36 HP, 42 attack, 34 speed, 16 defense, and 43 res. And that gives him a BST overall of 171. And then he's got 2 super boons in HP and attack. So plus HP, pretty interesting with that 36 very low HP base. But you're definitely going to want to go plus attack on him. I'm surprised they didn't give him plus res, but that's not the biggest deal. His defense is a dump stat. I was hoping he would have had good defense so he could play similar to Duolith and just be this really aggressive tank with a lot of offensive prowess as well. But that's not going to be the case. He's kind of a glass cannon on defense, and then his speed is workable at 34. He does have a guaranteed follow-up on his weapon, and he has wind sweep as well. So he's going to be able to really bully the slower armored units that use melee weapons, because he's going to eat through their wary fighter effects, and then he's going to double them with the natural speed. So a pretty strong unit, probably even the strongest unit on the banner. He is very good, and he's going to be a really nice mage nuke, with his weapon nullifying half of damage reduction, and also he comes with times pulse and -1 special trigger. So a unit to watch out for. And last but not least, we have the adorable baby Iliana. She is so cute. Just want to pick her up and hug her. So there she is getting hurt, and it looks like she has a bunch of snacks in her little pouch there. So, of course, in classic Iliana fashion, she's walking around with snacks. Okay, so Iliana, she's got 40 HP, 41 attack, 30 speed, 18 defense, and 42 res, rather. So, she is a 4-star demote on the banner. She has a 171 BST. She has super boons in both attack and res, which is very good. That's exactly where you want the super boons to be. So she is a very worthwhile merge project, I would say. She comes with a perf weapon that has res-based damage reduction. She also nullifies the foe's follow-up attack, and then she also inflicts attack and res -6 on them. So she's really good at baiting. She's a really good bait tome. She's a green tome unit, so she separates herself from the red tome Julius that a lot of people are comparing her to, which is for good reason. They are very similar. But I would say, Iliana, if you wanted to go for a merge project 4-star, then this is certainly one of the better ones for sure. So not a bad choice there. And finally, we have Boyd, who I don't know why I can't find any artwork for Boyd whatsoever, so let's just talk about Boyd here. He is going to be our Tempest Trial prize, and he's a very long-awaited unit. Unfortunately, it's Baby Boyd instead of Big Boy Boyd, so we guys are just going to have to settle for that for now. He's got 50 HP, 43 attack, 36 speed, 31 defense, and 21 res, giving him a 181 BST. And then he's got super boons in HP and attack. So Boyd is looking really similar to Basilio. They're almost identical in terms of basically everything. They have res as a dump. Their speed is pretty similar. They got good defense. They have high attack and high HP. Basilio, Gonzalez, and Boyd just all look identical in terms of stat line. However, Boyd does have a perf weapon that he can hold over the other two. So we are going to talk about that in just a sec and see if it's enough to make him a worthy merge project. Okay, so first up, Iliana is going to have lull, attack, and res at 5-star. That's fine. I mean, they were nice enough to give lull, attack, and res on a 4-star demote anyway, so that's really good. I almost want to say this is the best lull skill right now because mages don't really have a better option in the B skill if you're running a bait mage with a lot of defense and res and they're trying to tank the enemies. Lull, attack, and res is very good. So, really awesome demote skill there. She also comes with attack and res gap 3 at 4-star, which is whatever. Alright, so here is Boyd's art, I guess, but we can't see the full artwork, so that's a big RIP. So his perf weapon, large war axe, 16 might and 1 range, grants attack up 3, grants attack and speed up 10 to unit. That's a very big number there. Neutralizes units' penalties to attack and speed, and unit's first attack deals damage equal to 15% of unit's attack during combat on odd-numbered turns. Oh my god, that is a lot of stuff there. So attack and speed up 10, nullify penalties to attack and speed, and then 15% true damage based on attack. It's only on odd-numbered turns, but considering this guy is free, and he's doing all of that, that's really good still. I'm gonna be straight with you guys. That's a really good weapon for a free-to-play unit. Okay, also grants attack and speed up 5 to unit during combat on even-numbered turns. Okay, so there's a bit of controversy here with this guy's weapon. A lot of people are divisive on him just like they are with Ike. They think he sucks because it's only half of the turns where he's going to be able to be at his full potential. Whereas the other times he's just going to have attack and speed up 5. But this brings me back to the deal with Nemesis, where a lot of people overlooked him because his damage reduction is only once per turn. As long as you're fighting on odd number turns specifically, this guy's weapon is really damn good for a free-to-play unit. So I do think he is worthwhile as a merge project for a free-to-play option. He's certainly better than Gonzalez and Basilio as well, I would say, because he could pretty much do all the exact same builds that they can, except on top of that, he has this really good weapon. So not a bad merge project. Boyd fans definitely ate well there, except it's Baby Boyd, like I said, instead of Big Boy Boyd. So that's still a big rip. Okay, he has Fire Boost 3. Oh, boy. Everybody stand back. Fire Boost 3. That's going to wreck the meta right there. Fire Boost 3 at 4-star. You know, we could really use some boost level 4s at this point. Why not give us the level 4 upgrade to these already? Could be pretty interesting. All right, he also has Infantry Pulse at 5-star. That's really good. We've had this already as fodder, but it's always nice to see it come up more often. Okay, then for Baby Mia, she has Speed and Defense Tempo 3, and the inheritance restrictions are infantry only. Now, what's really nice is that it's not locked to weapon types. So any infantry unit, be it ranged or magic or bow or dagger or sword or lance or whoever, all infantry units are going to be able to use this, which is very good. But sadly, the other movement types can't get access to it. So a little bit of an RIP there. Still a very good B skill in a very oversaturated pool where we have a lot of good B skills. But infantry units don't have Canto, so this is a pretty good alternative, I guess. All right, then we have distant darts restrictions there. It's melee only, big surprise. And that's pretty much all the skill inheritances there. All right, so let's move on to this over here. So this is the new trap menu. Of course, we just got a new trap, the Hex Trap. And it turns out you're only allowed to have 2 copies of a real trap and then 2 copies of a fake trap. So that kind of sucks. I was really hoping we'd be able to have 3 real traps on the map. So you'd be able to block the opponents from standing on 3 tiles, which would be really good for defense. Offense is just way too good, so having 3 active traps would have been fair game for defense, I think. But I don't know, they just wanted to do 2 traps at a time, so bye-bye Bolt Trap, hello Hex Trap. There's really no reason to run the Bolt Trap anymore, especially when it hurts your own units more than it hurts the enemy. So that's my thoughts about that. And then finally, our Sacred Seals for this round are going to be Defense Opening and Warding Breath. Opening skills, they're not terrible, but they're not my favorite for buffing skills. I still feel like the tactic skills are the go-to, because they buff all allies in 2 spaces. Can't argue with that. And Warding Breath, finally, one of the better breath skills for sure. I'm waiting on Fierce Breath personally, but Warding Breath is still very nice. The breath skills hold up really well as Sacred Seals. So that's pretty much all there is to talk about with this data mine. Okay, they got some memes going on here. Finally, Mr. Gengar posted the stats that I wanted to look at, but we also have Boyd's art finally. So, I mean, we already went over everything that I had to talk about. So that's going to wrap us up for the video here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. And this is your boy Tacho signing out. So take care, fellas. and I will catch y'all again on the flip side.